Tonight, Marcia speaks for the first time about her daily battle with illness and how she's found true love at last after 3 failed marriages. Sophie Hull reports.
Survivor. I mean, why else wouldn't I survive? That's why I'm here.
Australia's reigning Queen of Pop has done and seen it all in a stellar career spanning 37 years. And yet she seems to barely have aged since arriving in Australia as an ambitious teenager from Boston.
Obviously, I wasn't a normal 16-year-old, okay? Because, you know, I mean, like, I knew what I wanted to do, you know, and coming here and finding out way after I'd gotten here I was pregnant. And I do know now that if I hadn't had my child, I wouldn't be as solid as I am now.
Don't let yourself go. She blazed her own trail, first as the youngest cast member ever in Hair, then as the first black woman to play Mary Magdalene in Jesus Christ Superstar. And she was voted as Countdown's Queen of Pop 3 times.
I'm so glad that I didn't go back to America because my contract was 6 months, you see.
I mean, so many people think they have to go to the States to make it big, but you did it the other way around.
Often people say to me, why don't you go overseas? And I say, well, I am overseas.
Your love still brings back to my knees.
At this stage of her life, Marcia seems philosophical about most things. The madness of her meteoric rise in pop's heyday has made way for a calmer, more measured existence, and largely because she doesn't have a choice.
What is difficult is people who want to talk about it, who don't understand what it is to have a chronic disease.
When I knew I had to face another day.
Like 140,000 Australians, Marcia lives with type 1 diabetes, a debilitating illness requiring careful management.
If you're controlled, which means your sugars are controlled, and you take good care of yourself and you exercise, it's pretty straight ahead. It's a lot better than getting cancer.
To me, fake.
I thought it was fake too.
You know, there's really nothing I can say. That's it.
There is one topic, though, that burns deeply. The subject of Tarasai, an Australian Idol hopeful since voted out, who dared to level criticism at Marcia herself.
And why did you choose me anyway if you thought I was fake? You're the one who did the top 24 things. Why did you choose me if you thought I was fake?
What about Tarasai saying you were fake?
What about Tarasai saying I was a fake?
Did that offend you in any way, or why do you think she said it?
Ask her when you see her. I know what I did backstage. I know how I encouraged that child, so I have very few things that bother me, and one of the greatest things I don't suffer from is guilt.
As for allegations the Hillsong Church congregation is using divinity to swing the Christian vote and rig the competition...
I've always noticed, and we've always noticed, that a lot of the kids come from church. I came from church, you know, and that's where I learned to sing. And a lot of the kids that come, I'd say almost like 75 to 80% of the kids that we see, you know, are from church.
Marcia describes her latest album as self-help, mostly covers of songs that have resonated with her. It's her 12th release. In her time away from the studio and stage, Marcia likes to keep a low profile with her 4th husband.
I have someone who understands me. My husband's a very nice guy, and I'm sure it wasn't easy for him. When you've got something solid, then if everything else around you is just going crazy, you just go back to that, hold on to that solid base, and I think that's what my family are. My most normal thing is just chilling at home, doing nothing. Gardening, I like art, so I do mosaics.
So you're not very rock and roll, are you?
No. I was going to try and think of something cool, but nah, not really.
Oh, yeah.